Hi BookTube, it's Gina. Happy Friday. I've read a few books since we talked last and I wanted to talk to you about them. First of all, let's start out talking about my little reading journal because this has been so much fun. This is a Dingbats journal, and I mean, okay, it's only February, but I have been doing really good at writing a little bit about the books that I'm finished. So I'm keeping a separate log so I can just track the names of the books I'm reading. But I saw this video on Steve Donahue's channel, and he was talking about a reading journal and what types of things to put in it. Things like, where were you? Where did you get the book that you read? Was it on a Kindle? Was it a physical copy? What was going on in your life while you were reading it? And I think that was just a fun idea, and it kind of sparked something in me that I hadn't really thought of before. So I've been having fun writing my little journal, and so I'm gonna actually use this to just look at some notes while we're talking. So the first book that I want to talk to you about is Mick Herron's Slow Horses. This has been made into an Apple TV series that we've watched. We haven't watched the most recent series because we canceled our Apple TV. But this is a spy thriller set in London, and the Slow Horses are a group of people who have basically been kicked out of MI5, but they're not fired, so they go to this like purgatory where they are working, but they're kind of outside of the system. And we're trying in this book to find out, why are they there? What caused them to be booted out of the service and into a slough house, as the place is called, that they are working? They are referred to as slow horses. And this is such a good book. I really enjoyed it. I'm not much of a spy thriller reader, but I really enjoyed the series on TV. And Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading had told me that this was a book. I didn't even realize that it was when I first watched the TV show. And this is good. Even if you're not a big spy thriller person, I think this is very well written, real fast paced, fun read, and I really enjoyed it. This is, and I read it, I actually read this edition, which is unusual for me. I typically read on my Kindle, but I'm also trying really hard to read books off of my shelves. And this I was using as the bookmark. I don't know if that's gonna focus on there or not. It's probably not, but this is an old library card insert where you put the borrower's name, and it's super cute. So I was using that as a bookmark. The next two books I read were on my Kindle. Both of these I got at the library on my Kindle. And the first is Death of a Red Heroine. This is a mystery by Qi Ji Long. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name. He's a Chinese writer who, oopsie, I dropped my pen, sorry. A Chinese writer who has lived in the US since I think like the late 80s, early 90s. This is set in the early 90s in China. It's the chief inspector who is investigating a murder in China, in Shanghai. This was a recommendation also by Steve. I'm not going to link the video below because he makes like 18 videos a day and I will never find it. So if you want to see it, you'll have to hunt for it, which I don't recommend because there are just too many. But it's the first sentence I wrote in my journal is I have mixed feelings about this book. I really liked the setting in Shanghai. He describes it so well. It's really interesting because I'm not familiar with that area really at all. I don't know that I've ever actually read a book set in Shanghai, which is shocking and terrible. And it's really great at describing the setting, the people, the politics of the time. Was just set just after the Tiananmen Square massacre, and the politics in this book are described so well and really weave throughout the story and have a pretty significant impact on the ending. There was a couple things about this book that I didn't like. It's definitely not a cozy, and there are some fairly graphic descriptions of I don't even want to talk about it, actually. Let's just say it's not cozy, and it's definitely more hard-boiled. And it would have been great for March Mystery Madness next month because it's set in another country and on another continent. But I guess I was one step ahead of the game. So a half-hearted recommendation, I think, on this one from me. I think that the depictions of women in this book are a little bit, I didn't really care for it. We'll just say that. But still a half-hearted recommend if that kind of stuff doesn't bother you. So that was the second book that I read. The third book that I read was, it's called Booked to Die by John Dunning. This was also written and set in the 90s. And this is a murder mystery set in Denver, Colorado, about bookshops, about the used book trade. The cop in the book, Cliff Janeway, is a book collector. So he's tied into the book community. And when I say book collector, I mean like rare editions, first editions, signed editions, the expensive stuff. And so that part of the book was so much fun. I loved reading all about the books he was buying, the boxes of books he was finding. Murder mystery, a book scout, someone who scours thrift stores to find valuable books that are priced super cheap that they can then resell to book dealers, is found murdered. The cop has to discover, obviously, who the murderer is. And let's just say chaos ensues. And I had read this book a long time ago and remember really loving it. And I hadn't thought of it in years, but I saw a video by my friend Tracy at Tracy's Nordic Light, where she did a video on like pairing up two books, a fiction and a nonfiction book. And for some reason, when I saw that video, this book popped into my head as a pairing with a nonfiction book about book collecting. And I was like, oh, I haven't read that book in ages. I want to reread that book. So I reread it. I really loved it. I loved the description of the books, of the bookstores. And oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you, I also listened to a portion of this on audio. Now, I generally don't listen to audiobooks, but I was going to be doing some driving. I had already gotten the Kindle edition from the library, and I had seen that they had an audio edition. And so I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to grab the audio edition and listen to that while I'm driving. And I didn't even realize, by my favorite audiobook narrator, George Guidall, who narrated all of the Cat Who mystery books. And I love his voice so much. And I loved listening to that. I listened to maybe a quarter of it. And I think I would have actually enjoyed listening to the whole thing on audio more than actually reading it, because the audio experience was just so good. I think I overmaxed myself a little bit this week on how do I want to phrase it? Like masculine books. These are all three written by men, which is fine. I generally read a lot by women though, and the perspective is so different. And so I think reading three mystery thrillers, one after the other, with this kind of hard-boiled, gritty male narrator perspective was a little bit, I don't know, it wasn't as, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It was just a different experience. Not bad, just different. And so now I've got to find something cozy. I've got to find something cozy to read. So I don't know what I'm going to read next, but I'm super excited because next month is March Mystery Madness, March of the Mammoths, and Middle Grade March. And I'm definitely I'm going to hopefully, I say definitely, I'm going to read at least one book for each of those. And I might do a TBR. I generally don't do TBRs, but it might be kind of fun with those three fun events in March, doing a TBR. So I don't know, we may not. What else did I want to talk to you about? I think that's it. So I hope that you have some fun plans for the weekend. Tell me below what you are reading, what your plans are, and I will talk to you next time.